right. I would like to now turn the presentation over to, or the meeting over to Genevieve Baer and Tay Strauss. Both are with OLLI at UVA, so they can share with us the learning opportunities that are available for the 55 and better crowd. So Genevieve and Tay, it's all yours. All right.
Good morning. Thank you, Andrea, and thank you guys for letting me get settled here with the PowerPoint. Okay. Are you all able to see the welcome screen? Great, okay. So we are the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at UVA. Tay and I are the co-directors there, and we are happy to be here to share with you OLLI's history and where OLLI is currently and how the community can get involved with OLLI both through volunteerism as well as through membership. Okay. Well, I just said all that. So OLLI began back in 2001. It was founded by Jim McGrath, along with some of his friends and peers that volunteered to help establish an OLLI here in Charlottesville. They visited the College of William and Mary that also had an initial lifelong learning program, and together created JIL, the Jefferson Institute of Lifelong Learning here in Charlottesville. A year later, UVA's president at the time, John Castine, provided funding to get JIL off the ground. As you can see, it was small at the time, 100 members and 17 courses. And then throughout the years, more funding became available. And I'll tell you where the funding came from in just a moment. And OLLI partnered up with the University of Virginia, became a 501c3, and became the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at UVA. So there are approximately 125 Osher Lifelong Learning Institutes around the country. They are all partially funded by the Osher Foundation, which is who funded OLLI several years ago through two very large grants. Two large endowments. And so we're still using those endowments today to help supplement income from membership and course registrations. All of the Oshers are university affiliated, meaning they either fall under the university in their hometown and have offices there and get university support and funding, or there are, I believe, 5 of us that are nonprofits. So we are affiliated with the university, but we sit not under the university, we sit to the side of the university, meaning we partner in different ways, but we are our own foundation and do not receive funding from the university and do not get staffing from the university. So we are separate, but do receive some benefits of being part of a university affiliate. The Osher National Resource Center, the NRC, is a non-governing body that really supports all of the OLLIs around the country. They provide resources, education, leadership. They help create goals for the different OLLIs. They're housed at Northwestern University and really are a great resource and binding agent for all of the OLLIs across the country. So OLLI at UVA, we're in our 20th year. We are an area where adults, active seniors, can go learn in a really stress-free environment. So this, in the last year, we've had 1,400 members. We've provided up to 150 courses and then over 30 free member benefits. I couldn't quite count just how many member benefits we have because we seem to add, every time we get the number, we add more. So Tay will explain the member benefits here in a little bit, but the courses range from courses about the arts or science or history, or I mean, you name it, we've done it. We're doing one on Fabergé eggs right now. So really, there's a wide range of opportunities for adults to come in, take short courses, meet friends. It's a really cool environment. Our community, as I mentioned, is active adult learners. As you can see here, we've got a lot of really engaged members that come from owning businesses, teaching, doctors, artists, I mean, from all walks of life. And our instructors are the same people that our members are for the most part. So they come from a lifelong career or passion for a specific topic, and they volunteer to teach for us. So Tay will talk on that a little bit more as well. As I mentioned before, the OLLI environment is very relaxed and comfortable. So our courses are short. Sometimes there's 4 classes in a course, so it's a 4-week course. Sometimes there's 6 weeks, occasionally 7 weeks. Sometimes they're 1 day, and each class is an hour, hour and a half over that 4 to 6 week period. We call them university level courses. While they are shorter than a university course, the quality of content provided is the same. Since a lot of the instructors were professors themselves, so they're providing really strong coursework for the students. And I should mention our student body is highly engaged in the courses. So it's less of a lecture and more of a conversation. There's lots of time for questions and peer-to-peer work together and conversation, and a really open environment for students to come in and learn and ask the questions that they want to ask without the pressure of being in a university course. So there are no papers, there are no tests, there's no homework. You sign up for the course you want to take, the course you really are passionate about taking, or courses that you want to take. You come in, you learn in that hour and a half. There's often suggested readings if you want to learn more, or go check out this article or program if you want to learn more, but it's not required. So there's an opportunity for coming in, learning, and going back to your home or your career, wherever else you came from. OLLI is made up as a nonprofit. We have a board of directors. We are a tiny but mighty staff. There are 3 full-time staff members and 2 part-time staff members. So Tay and I are the co-directors. We have a volunteer and events manager. We have a program coordinator, and then we have a member's assistant. And then the rest of OLLI is run with the help of volunteers. So we've got just about anybody involved in OLLI that is not a member is volunteering. Our instructors are volunteers, our moderators are volunteers, all of our committees are built from volunteers. So as you can imagine, we are super grateful for our volunteers. Without them, we would not have a staff, and OLLI would not be what it is today. Any questions so far before Tay jumps into our spring semester and more specifics on what we have to offer?
Genevieve, if you would, tell us more about your DEIA committee.
Yeah, so our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Accessibility Committee is relatively new. We actually have a meeting right after this all together. It is built from instructors. The entire staff is on the committee. We've got a couple of board members on the committee. And our focus is to expand our reach in the community. OLLI is, while I think OLLI's in the past has always been open to the community and wanting to involve the whole community, our DEIA committee is trying to make more of a concerted effort to go out and invite people specifically to our community. And Tay chairs it, so I will have her speak a little bit more about it. Tay, if you want to jump in.
Sure. You did a great job, though.
Thank you.
Really, we're just making, we just want to make sure that everyone feels invited and welcome to join us if they see a course they're interested in, that they can explore that with us. We also are doing the work of bringing diverse courses to our membership as well. For example, we have a program coming up this semester that's called Cousins Reaching Across the Racial Divide. And this is two cousins who've written a book together and are going to present that. That is actually a member benefit as well. So should be presenting a nice dynamic offering. So that's kind of that big work that we're doing in the background. Does that kind of answer your question?
So there's
Perfect.
an intentional effort on OLLI's part to, I guess, increase attendees of color, if you will, because I saw your stat
Yes.
on male, female, and the education
Yes.
level. So okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
we have
increasing the membership diversity, but also instructor diversity, coursework diversity,
Yes.
like all the way around, trying to increase diversity on multiple levels.
Okay, thank you. And Emily had a question.
Yes.
I was just curious how many volunteers you had the opportunity to work with.
So
that is a great question. Yeah, I think Genevieve, you want to handle that one?
Yeah, so if you'd asked me before COVID, the number is close to 300 volunteers in a year. Yeah, I mean, huge. And they would do a lot. So from office work, helping with registration, helping with, at the time, I think bookkeeping was getting support. I mean, just top to bottom, all levels of office work. And then out in the community, recruitment, social events, coursework. I mean, all the different types of volunteer opportunities you can have, they were supporting here at OLLI. And then COVID hit. And as we're all aware, the population that we're talking about today is more vulnerable to COVID. And so a lot of our membership, we lost about half our membership at the time, which included our volunteers. They needed to be at home. They needed to feel safe and protected. And we pushed everything online, which worked really well. And several of our members came back, but volunteerism decreases slightly when you're online. So since we've opened up in-person coursework again, a rough estimate of our volunteers is around 150 again, which includes instructors, moderators, and then some office support at times. So yeah, really large base of volunteers that have kept OLLI going for many, many years. Any other questions before learning more about spring? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Tay.
Great, thank you. All right. We hold our courses throughout the community. So as Genevieve referenced before, we are a foundation within the university. We don't use university space, so we don't have dedicated classrooms. So we're always looking for accessible, appropriate spaces to hold the courses. As you can see here, this is a quick list, not everything. We have courses at Unity of Charlottesville. Last semester, we had courses in Stanton at the Stanton Innovation Hub, which was a new space in that area. So we're always looking for good spaces that work well for our membership, but also get us out into the community as well. All right, so our course registration for the spring semester just opened this Tuesday. Everything went really smoothly. We've seen a little bit of an uptick in membership, which is really reassuring. As Genevieve said, we're trying to, operate in a safe way that is appealing to the wider community, as I think we're all struggling to find that right blend. We do offer a new member special, which is the membership is on us. So really trying to welcome people if the membership fee to take the courses is creating a barrier, or maybe just to try it out, it'd be nice to get a little deal there. We're gifting that to new members. They can contact us. We ask them to create their own account within our registration system, and then we take it from there. We do divide our semesters into 2 sections. So what that really just means is that we have an A session, which the courses are going to begin February 21st, and that will end about April 8th. And then our session B will begin April 11th, and then this whole semester will end May 27th. As Genevieve said, we offer a lot of member benefits. So member benefits are free to members. We offer social opportunities online and in person, and just try to make the membership be worthwhile. One of the things that we offer every semester before the semester begins is what we call a taste of OLLI. And the taste of OLLI is designed so that people can join us for a little bit of a sampling of the courses that we're offering that semester. So we invite just a couple of our instructors, and we usually, in the past had done this in person, of course, and what we've done through the pandemic is record it online. So we've actually brought a couple of samplings for you of 2 different course offerings for this semester, and those instructors' presentations. So I will mute myself so Genevieve can play these 2 lovely instructors' little pushes for their class.
Okay, let me know if you can't hear it. We did a test and it worked, but if it didn't, wave your hands or something if you can't hear the video.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking interest in OLLI. If you choose any of these classes or the other classes that are offered, I know you're going to be well rewarded for your time. I've been teaching with OLLI for about 4 years now. I'm a retired music educator of 35 years. I've also been teaching on African American history and culture, doing lectures throughout the area with a group called Odyssey of Soul. And so the class I'm teaching this spring is a 6 weeks class, starting the second half of the semester. And the title of the class is Making a Way Out of No Way. And it simply speaks to the fact that the African American experience has been a troubled and difficult one. And so the class is going to be on African American history and American history, as those 2 are intertwined. But it also speaks of the resiliency of the African American culture and experience to overcome some very difficult circumstances. So the class actually starts out with a pre-test, and those what's on the pre-test are terms, events.
Did that stop for you all?
Persons in the African American experience that, as an African American, you may be well known of, or you may know those terms and persons very well. And then as we go through the class, we simply use that as a guide to learn what African Americans have gone through to where they are today and where we are today. And so the class really does focus on the history, but it also focuses on the barriers and the trials that the African Americans had to go through during the time of slavery, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, and the civil rights movement, and even through our modern times. I think this class is very important because our perspective on history, and especially African American history, has changed greatly. And so by taking this class, you will kind of get a more current experience and knowledge that you may not have picked up in your high school or college courses. So I hope you join us for Making a Way Out of No Way.
Tay, do you want me to play the next video?
Yes, I think we'll just move right on through.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you
Hang tight.
for.
Okay, and this is another instructor.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, and greetings. As introduced, I'm Shirley Midyad, a native North Carolinian who's lived around the country, found my forever home here in Charlottesville, right in the midst of history. And history is my passion. And I'd love to share information with you about Thomas Jefferson and Monticello, and tell you about Jefferson as he wrote it to a friend, the curiosity of the neighborhood. Well, in today's world, hundreds of thousands of people still think there is a curiosity in our neighborhood, and that's Monticello. We have locals, we have nationals, and we have internationals that come to Monticello. But you may not know that even internationals came to visit Monticello during Jefferson's lifetime, and they had much to say about it. They wrote their comments about what they saw. Locals also came, and we know what they said. And we get to compare that with today's world. When we go to visit Monticello, we buy our tickets, ride a shuttle bus, we put our mask on, have our bags scanned, and have a guide take us through the house. How different the world is today, and yet so much of Monticello remains the same. So come join us and learn about Monticello and what visitors thought when they came to see the curiosity of the neighborhood.
So as you can see, we just bring a couple of our instructors. We try to cover new classes, new instructors, but also the different categories that we offer. We have humanities, science, history, etc. And so we try to give kind of as full of a picture as we can during the Taste of OLLI. So COVID-19 has posed challenges for all of us, whether personally or professionally. I've tried to spin it for myself and the OLLI team as a forced innovation. We did not offer online courses before the pandemic. We had in-person courses and we knew how to do them and we did them well and we were growing. With the pandemic, we pivoted online for the first time. Again, we couldn't do it without our instructors. Those instructors who'd never taught online before jumped in the deep end with us, and we trained and worked really hard, and we'll keep this into the future. So we found that the community finds both of these options rewarding. So when we get out of the pandemic, we will still be offering online courses for those people who maybe when we are in normal times are not able to join us in a classroom. So we can bring the learning and the socialization to them. And that's going to be the exciting part of this really hard work that we've been doing. So that's the intention there. We evaluate every single part of our program. For every single course, the members who are enrolled in the course are asked to evaluate the effectiveness of the instruction. We ask the instructors to evaluate staff support. We ask the moderators about their experience. So we are trying to always learn as staff, as OLLI, learn more about what the work that we're doing and how we can do it better. And that's, I think, one of the parts that makes it exciting for instance, Genevieve and I. We can really implement change really quickly once we identify there's a better way to do it. For example, last semester was the first time that we actually had the opportunity to offer in-person and online courses. We're really excited to be able to do that 2 times in a row. It's nice not to have to invent the wheel. It's nice to let it roll a little bit. So we found new and better ways to have that opportunity to do both things at the same time. A little bit more about our current member benefits. As Genevieve said, we're always trying to add more to what we do. When people become members, the next semester's catalog is sent to them. We do a digital version and we also mail a hard copy. We also do member only insiders, is what our newsletter is called, the Insider. And we try to create content in the member only insider that really is either a sneak peek or maybe a class that's opening up, and we're going to open it up to them first so they can, experience the benefit of being a member. We also offer coffee chats and happy hours, which are social events. We have online versions of those as well. So again, if the only opportunity they have to chat with their fellow students is online, we have that covered as well. We offer author talks. So I search out authors from all over. We've had quite a variety since we've been offering these. These are relatively new. I invite authors to join us, and the members do not have to read the book. If they see the title and they're curious, they can certainly purchase the book and read it before the author talk. But it's also an opportunity for them to ask the author questions beforehand, before they buy it and read it. So it's more of a small group opportunity to ask the author questions that you wouldn't be able to do. How did you research your subject and come up with the idea, and possibly what are your writing methods if someone's interested in writing their own book. So that's a neat kind of opportunity to sit down with an author. We offer special presentations, which are actually free and open to the public. We do them currently as webinars. So we post those links for the world to be able to join us. If people do decide to register through our registration system, it just gives us the opportunity to remind them and send them the link specifically to them. But we partner with the Charlottesville History Club. So a lot of those special presentations are about history. And we welcome all of you, if there's ever anything interesting, join us. They're really pretty fascinating. We offer SIGs, which are special interest groups. These are member initiated. So we have a variety. We have a genealogy SIG currently. And we've had I would say, increased interest in SIGs this semester, which is reassuring. We had one member say, oh, I'd really be interested in talking about maritime history. So what we do is we let the other members know this person's had this idea. Are there others who would like to meet? And then we facilitate connecting them so that then they can meet together. We have partnered with the Festival of the Book. This is the second semester that we've done that. They let us know of a few authors and books to see which one we think the members would be interested in. And then we create a little reading group, and they get to meet, talk about the book beforehand, and then they're welcome to go to the event with the Festival of the Book. So it's an exciting partnership that's developed. Yep, and I went over that already. I don't know if there's anything else I added here that I missed for you all, but we're hoping that these really start to take off. As it's been tricky doing it online, I think. You know, when other OLLIs have a really great success rate with these, but I think they started them in person. So as we move back to normal, I think this will be really great. Our current location is at Studio X in X Park, which has Jaybird Coffee right there. And so we think this might be a really perfect place for people to meet and with each other, have a cup of coffee and talk about their special interest. So if you all have any questions or comments, Genevieve and I both would be happy to do our best to try to answer them. It's been really lovely to hear about where you all are from and have the opportunity to tell you a little bit about this really great organization that we have the opportunity to work for.
I have a question.
This is Fred, and for curiosity, I was just, and then Sheila, you're up next. If you could share a little bit more about your relationship with the Center at Belvedere, for curiosity.
We use their space. We actually rent their spaces for classes, and I try to put as many of our classes there as I can because it's very accessible. Just from, you know, entry, they've done a great job for our demographic with the building of itself.
Right.
The technology is fantastic as well, and they have support there, so it really works very nicely.
It's a wonderful facility. Yep.
It really is. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I had a question.
Sheila?
Yes, if someone was to start a class in person, do they have the opportunity to switch back and forth, or, you know, to online?
Okay, so if I don't answer your question exactly, let me know. I think you're asking if we do hybrid courses. So I think you're asking me, do we offer it in person and online at the same time?
Correct.
And the answer to that is no.
Okay.
Because we don't have dedicated space. And also, I have to say, our demographic, the biggest challenge is hearing. And when you do a hybrid and you have some people in person and some people online, it is extraordinarily challenging for the members on either side of that to be able to hear, one, the questions that maybe another fellow student would hear, but also we don't have dedicated space. It takes additional technology to do it well. And as the director of programming, I don't want to do anything that's not done well. What we do do is that any class right now that is scheduled as an in-person course, if the teacher or the instructor, or let's say we all have to shut down again, we do have a plan worked out that a course could move online, but it would move fully online and be available to everyone. Also, the other option is that if the teacher really doesn't want to move online, I'll move it to another semester. Does that answer what you were asking me?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
And I had a quick question, and I hope if I missed this, I apologize. Are all of your instructors also 55 plus, or is it all over the community?
There's a little bit of a variety, but I would say the majority are retired as well.
Great, thank you. And can people, you know, say there's someone in the community interested in teaching a class, like they've got really good content. Do they just reach out to you and say, hey, I'd like to volunteer, and then you see if there's interest in that class? Okay, awesome.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. And actually, they would send the proposal to me. There's a course proposal form on our website. We do have, and then what I do is if there are any initial questions that I can ask, I'll do that, and then I move it over to the curriculum committee to fully vet it and move on from there. So, yeah, thank you.
Genevieve and Tay, what is the average class size? I have two questions, and the first one is, what is the average class size?
Okay, so the average class size, I would say, is probably about 35, but the class size is determined specifically by the work that I do with the instructor. Our OLLI is deceptively customized. So, for example, I have some classes that, well, this semester, for example, I have a class about statistics, and the instructor wants 6 people in the class. I also have classes that are really lecture style, history of Victorian architecture, and that is unlimited. So I say 100 on our website, but that really just means that it's open. I'll move it to a bigger venue if I have to fit as many people as want to join that class. So we have a range of sizes there. Mm-hmm.
And as far as your member benefit cost, is that I saw one that says a semester is $75. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That's what one would pay every semester. Is that separate from an annual membership?
No, we only have 2 semesters.
Okay.
And so we don't have any annual offering at this time. Each semester is a $75 membership fee.
Gotcha.
And then the courses are priced at $11 per class. So as Genevieve said at the beginning, the classes can be 1 class, 4 classes, 6 classes, etc. So you just multiply that by 11. So a 1 class course is $11.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Genevieve or Tay? Yeah. And so again, your semester starts soon.
Yeah, the courses start, registration is open. We have a lot of open spaces. As I said, you know, we've got a lot of classes that are unlimited. So, you know, there's plenty of space available. The courses begin February 21st.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you both. This was very informative, very informative. And so I can help spread the word. Clarity on that, you're waiving the semester fee for first-time members?
That is correct.
Okay.
We're happy to do it. I do want to say one thing. I just said that courses begin the 21st. The first class of some of the courses start actually all through the semester. You know, that's part of the reason we do a session A and a session B. But if you look at the schedule, they're actually starting, some courses are starting the first week of the 21st, and then some are starting the next week. So there are always courses available. But yes, absolutely. New members, join us, and membership is on us.
Yeah. And just one last question for me, because I'm always curious about when we name things after people. So I know it's named after Bernard Osher. So who is he? Tell us a little about him.
Yeah, so he is he's the person that started all of the OLLIs and provided partial funding to every OLLI. Well, his foundation provided funding to every OLLI. So an active, engaged learner that wanted to see the rest of like-minded folks that want to like-minded meaning adults that don't want to stop learning just because they're not in school anymore or not working anymore, or maybe they are working but they want to, you know. So he's a really generous, kind gentleman who just wanted to offer this opportunity to people around the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what we can do for you at OLLI is help get the word out about your programs.
Yeah. So yeah, please tell your friends, tell those that you work with that OLLI is actively running our spring semester. If any of you all are interested in learning more or want to take a peek of some of the courses to see if it might be a good fit for your demographic or family or whoever, reach out to us. Our email, I'll put it here in the chat, but our email address is olliuva@virginia.edu. Oh, and Sasha just said that. That's great. So Jennifer Halleck is with Member Services, and she is just fabulous and so sweet, and will be happy to help anybody register. And then of course, Tay and I are here to answer any questions. And we're really grateful that you all had us today and that you engaged and asked questions. That's just lovely. We've all been on presentations where it's silent. So I really appreciate the feedback and the questions, and we're here if you all have any additional questions going forward.
Okay. All right. And before, if there are no other questions, before we actually conclude today's meeting, I will remind everyone and announce to some that Aging in Place is moving to every other month. So our next meeting will be April 1st at the center. Mr. Whitman Pete Cross is going to do a presentation for us. It's going to be an actively engaged presentation for those who can attend. Masks will be worn, and we will certainly have all safety precautions in place. But the center is going to host us, and we're going to be, what I understand is Mr. Cross is almost 90 years old and has been teaching classes on how to keep your brain active and develop healthy habits. So it's going to be interesting to learn from him, but that's going to be April 1st at the center. And then in June, we're going to have a networking event. But we're still looking for members for the executive committee to help us put sessions together. And I must say that you must be a chamber member. So part of the benefit to being a chamber member is serving in a leadership capacity. And if you're interested in presenting, you must be a chamber member, because again, it's part of the benefit of being a member. And lastly, I will see some of you at our State of the Community event 2 Fridays from now at the new Code building. And our next networking event after hours will be March 9th at the Dairy Market. And we know things can change, but and if anything major changes, we'll certainly let you know. But again, Genevieve and Tay, thank you so much. And I appreciate you all joining us, and to all of our chamber members and guests, thank you for attending our Aging in Place this morning. And you all have a great Friday and a great weekend. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.